I'm going to keep my comments very brief because we still have a couple other things that we'd like to share with you this evening. But I think what we've been trying to do here this evening as a community is to have us understand that we are the light. We are the light that we've been waiting for. We are the light that the world needs. And we generally have been taught in our spiritual and religious traditions that we must look outside of ourselves, that there is a God out there, that there is a punishing God, that there is an angry God, that there is a fickle God. And so we open up to the possibility this evening that God is only love. That's it. There is nothing more. And that any ideas out in the world, any people out in the world that are espousing anything other than that are just confused. We don't challenge in a way that we're criticizing people, but we know that Jesus' mission was about love. After understanding and connecting with God, having God be the focus of your being, the next thing is your neighbor as yourself, loving your neighbor as yourself. But first, we must understand the truth of who we are. Most of us don't know that, and even myself as a minister, oftentimes I have to remind myself the truth of who I am, because we live in a world that is bombarding us all the time, telling us we need this cream to be whole. We need this car to be special. We need this thing or this person that we must attach to. We become addicted personalities. We become material people, externalizing for the thing that we want, which is usually just love and comfort and acceptance and joy and peace. And guess what, beautiful people? That is within you. You cannot get what you don't understand that you already have. You have it within you, and the 12 powers open us up to cultivate these things within us, to practice them by playing with the colors and the affirmations, and the colors have disciples associated with them, and all of these things to be able to open up to the truth of our being. Because when we do, when we understand that each and every person who is here is on a divine mission, not just Jesus. See, most of us don't even resonate. I was asked this week by a 20-something-year-old, was there really even a Jesus? The story seems so absurd. Anybody else with that person? And so part of the question that he had and conversation that we had was, is it true? Maybe. Was there a Jesus? Could be. But the point of what this is, it is a blueprint for life. It is a story that is one of the most powerful things that we as human beings have, the power of the story that is a blueprint for our lives. In the midst of challenge, you have opportunity. In the midst of challenge, you have resources that come in that support you. In the midst of needing that light and needing that something, it appears. And so when we feel challenged, as many of us do, the holidays are celebrated, as this glorious, wonderful time, and it is. And we're experiencing that joy and that beauty this evening. But it's also a very challenging time, is it not? Many of you here may be sitting in these pews with a heavy heart. Many of you online may be watching with a heavy heart. Maybe someone has passed recently in your life. Maybe you're experiencing that loss of somebody that has passed, that you can't live into this holiday season with them. Maybe you're experiencing addiction or depression or having to make a difficult decision or just not feeling like your life is where you want it to be. And all of that, as hard as it may sound, all of that is good, and all of that is God. When we understand that we have been not brought here to this iteration of life to suffer. We have not been brought here to suffer. That is one of the biggest lies that we have been told. We are brought here to be the light resplendent. We are brought here to be the living, loving Christ. And so when we go through challenging times, I offer you to think about that as just a cleansing. Holy Spirit is saying, you need to let go these layers. You need to let go this past. You need to let go this trauma. You need to let go this abuse. You need to let go of all of these things people said that you couldn't be, or said that you would be, or the things that you thought you could never be. You're letting go of all these layers for your light to shine so brightly. We need every single person here, because there are forces out there that have a different idea of what God is and what Jesus is. Does anybody hear me about that? And so together we stand. When we hold up our lights, I'm not playing with that this evening. I want you all to see that as the beginning of understanding this light that is within you, that is ready to be born today like the Christ child. It is within you, it is your divine birthright, and it must be. Your life will never be in order. Your life will never be in balance. Your life will never be free until you understand who you are. You are a child of God. You are a child of God. You are a child of God, and you are an inheritor to the universe. And so it is. I'm going to offer you all the opportunity to be the blessing. We're going to have, I think, some baskets passed. I'm not sure. Our ushers, we've had a lot of changes, so you're going to have to bear with us. Folks have been ill this evening, or because of the weather, folks have not been here. So we've had to make a lot of quick last-minute adjustments. So I think there'll be baskets in the back as you leave, or maybe somebody will grab them. If you feel called, again, no obligation. We give with a loving heart. We give with the open heart. We give with an understanding that you are part of this divine mission, that you are just being in the flow of who you are. As you give, you receive. As you give to what we are as the light of the world. Unity of Nashville has been here for over 100 years, holding up the light and love in this community, holding up the doors open for people when other communities, other spiritual communities would not let folks in. That has been who we are. And so we offer you the opportunity to be an investor in that continued heritage and continued mission. You can also give online. If we could have the slides for those of you who want to go, you can donate online. If you're online right now on Facebook Live, there's a button. You can go ahead and hit that and go to that, www.unityofnashville.org. There's also cards in the back that you could donate to. And we take old school snail mail. Hey, anybody want to send a check? We'll definitely take it. Thank you so much for being part of this spiritual experience. And here at Unity, we bless everything that comes in, and we use our prosperity declaration that I'd love for us to say together. And so with me, we say, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And so before we're going to move into the final phases of our evening with our group candlelighting ceremony, I'm going to give you all some instructions. But before that, I want to give some thank yous. First and foremost, thank you to our musical team, David Lukens and Jason and DeMarco. Thank you to our tech team, Reed and Vero. Thank you. Thank you to all of the volunteers. Thank you to those who the readers were this evening, Vic and Liz and James and Nancy and Randy. Thank you. And thank you to all of you. We have service here on Sundays at 10 o'clock. A little different than what we do this evening, but you get the drift. All of our services are online on YouTube. Like us on Facebook. We're on TikTok, all of the other social media. So make sure you check us out there. All right, so everyone should have a candle. If you don't, you can go to the back and grab one. Or let's see, does anyone not have a candle? And I'll have somebody go to you. Okay, raise your hand if you do not have a candle. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make this really fun. We're going to try to create a circle. And so I'm going to stay here and we'll start to sort of build out the circle. Hold on, not yet. I should have said that. Everybody's excited. So we need some candles over there. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a circle. But before that, we're going to hear one more song by Jason and DeMarco. But I want everyone to have a candle. So once they finish singing, we're going to assemble in a circle as best as possible. And we're going to have two of the ushers in the back light candles. And so what they're going to do is they're going to light one person each way, and then you then will take your candle. The next person will hold it steady. Now here's the biggest part y'all got to understand. Do not have your lit candle and then dip it. Guess what? You're going to get wax everywhere, right? So once your candle is lit, you hold it so that the next person can light that from you. Does that make sense? So it's going to go all around. Once we have that all around, then we'll do a rendition of Silent Night that will be led by Izzy Bear this evening. Making sense? All right. So as we hold our candle and we prepare for that and we hear this last song by Jason and DeMarco, I want you all to understand and feel into the words of this song as we really connect to the truth of who we are as the light of the world. And as you go through the candle lighting ceremony, I dare you to feel something you've never felt before. I dare you to feel the Spirit living, moving, and breathing in you as you here tonight. And when you take that light from someone else and then you pass it to someone, you're remembering the truth of who we are, that we are each light that we hold for someone else, and we also take from someone else when we don't have light. We understanding that? All right.